the moment you go back to Tableau Public interface, you go back to your profile. And then when you go to your profile and you go to create a vid, the thing to ask you is upload the data. You take the data set, you load. So this is my profile. Let's say this is my Tableau. I've logged in. You create a vid. So I said to bar or that's what somebody has done. For it in Tableau Public, when you create an account every day, they'll send you visualizations of like people have done, and this is very, very nice and everything. Now, aside that, so there's it. So we came here, click upload from a computer, you locate where you extracted the file to, then you import the data. Right? When you import the data, it takes some few minutes or some few seconds before we start the data cleaning or the data visualization process. Now, I was explaining the interface briefly, that the same idea you have about Excel, the names of the columns, the data, the Tableau 2 does basically the same thing. Now, the moment I click update now, it pushes or loads the data into the individual columns. Then we go to the sheets. I explained that in Tableau, we do the individual graphs. Then when you are done, you join all into a particular dashboard. So it's like division of work. When you are done, we combine all together. And I was explaining the interface. And I hope that's where we got to. And for those who recently joined, I hope you are also catching up on everything we have done. Thank you so much.
All right. So now that's the basic understanding. The next thing is marks. So I was saying that the marks is the various type of charts you can do with Tableau. So bar charts, line charts, even for your final year project, you can have a map. If your data contains locations of places, Tableau can automatically detect where they are on the map and help you visualize it easily. We have Gantt charts, bar charts, everything is here. And if you can see, there is a top show me button here. Those who are using their own individual computers and are following, I hope you can see it. There's a show me here which contains more graphs. And I was mentioning that what makes Tableau more nicer is that with Tableau, if you choose some particular columns or some particular data and you can't visualize it with some graphs, you see it already. That graph will not highlight. Do you understand? It will only highlight like the graphs which are possible to draw with that particular data will be highlighted when like it's actually possible to visualize them. Do you get it? So now I've not selected anything. So there's nothing here. Right? Nothing is here. So the moment I start choosing columns, then we see, okay, this and this and this is how it is, and this is how we go about everything. Are we all okay? Good. Now, aside that, too, the next place I want to explain is the columns. Now, columns and rows. So, in every data, if you want to do a visualization, let's say line chart, bar chart, you have your x-axis and your y-axis. So your x-axis is what we call the rows here, and the y-axis is what you call the columns. So what you'll be visualizing. Those who have basic knowledge about tables, I hope it will be quite common with you. But those who don't have, just see it as when you take two particular columns, which one do you want to be the x-axis? Which one do you want to be the y-axis? What do you want to study? Right? That's what the column does. Filters. This particular page shows us, do you want to see the first 10 ascending, descending order? We can set or customize our own filters. And we have the pages too. How do we want to arrange the charts? Everything is here. Now, aside that, you can download the dashboard. This is it here. We have a lot of options. You can hide. You can even change the axis. So you can swap the row, column, and everything. And that's how it is. We can choose colors. We can change our font style, our font size, everything here very, very, very easily. Are we all okay with that? Please, if you have any question, ask, because we are going to the third section of our workshop, and this time we are going to be doing the individual graphs one by one so that everybody gets a basic understanding of how it is. Great. I'm glad everybody is following. if you'd realize, every dashboard, when we are doing a dashboard, we have to give it a title. So we'll create a sheet, create the name of the dashboard, and give it a title. One thing you have to notice is that just make sure your title explains what the dashboard is about, it is visible, and your color combinations are nice. As a data analyst, one thing I do, because of academic work here, and I think in my third year, we did a course on human-computer interaction where we're made to understand how colors work. And so I found a site called Color Hunt, and that site helps me with my color combinations. So I'll open a tab quite briefly, or I'll share my entire screen quite briefly so that everybody sees how I go about it. I'll put the website in the comment section so that everybody sees what it's about. So Color Hunt. So that's it. Colorhunt.io. Those who have seen it, you see it here. So it contains color combinations and their color codes. So you see the first one, orange, this one, everything here. So if I'm going to do a chart, what colors do I want to use for my font? Maybe me, my font, I'll choose white. My charts, let's say the bars, if I'm going to be doing bar charts, what colors do I want to use for my bar charts? What color combinations do I want to do? All these things, they are made simple when you are able to use Color Hunt. So for Color Hunt, I just click on the hash code. You see, they've told me copied. Then when I go to where I'm going to, let's say I come to Tableau like this. Before I do the dashboard, I already have the color code in mind. So when I'm doing everything, it's made simple. Please do you get it? Now, how do we go about it? I click on sheet, the sheet here. So that's the title of this sheet. But we want to create the name of the dashboard, like the name of the dashboard for the sheet itself. We would see sheet 1. We click on the drop down, we go to format title. Now, what is the title of our dashboard? So we can edit the name. I'm coming. Double clicking on the sheet. Good. So when you double click on it, it gives you that option. So the sheet name. So 2023 Ghana. So all caps for the dashboard name. Ghana data, Ghana telecommunication, or let me do telecom data, or let me call it dashboard so that it's simple. Dashboard. So I select all. I want my dashboard to be, the font to be very clear, so I choose 36. I make it bold, then I center align it, right? I click on OK. This is it. Now for somebody, you might not like the font color. You might say this font color is not the best. So even before I even change the font color, I'll say I've picked my color combination from Color Hunt. So I want to change the background of the color, the font background. So when I come here, I click on color background. Now you see the color code here. I click on paste, then I paste it beautifully. I can click here again, then this time I change the color of the font. So I want my font color to be white. So when I click OK, I think I didn't change the color where I'm coming. I select Control A, I select all, I choose color white, then OK. Good. Now you can see this. Let's say you want a border. So me like this. Let's say I want a border. So when I go to here, when I come to Color Hunt, my next color code was the second one, and I think that color combination will help. So I'll use that color code again. I've gone to copy it already. Then I'll use it for my, let's say my outline. I want the border to be this. You can change the pixels, so you can make it 5. You can make it bigger. Everything here. Then when we are done, at the bottom you see that we have written sheet 1 down here. sheet 1 down here, you can change it. So we call it dashboard name, so that everything we are doing is very organized. You understand? If somebody takes it, the person can understand what we are doing. We'll create another worksheet. So now, after you have done your title, we are going to create KPIs, right? Now, the idea behind KPIs is that, let's say you are doing your own research. They'll say do your qualitative analysis. You do your, sorry, they say do your descriptive analysis. So describe some key things. That's the same idea we use when we are doing dashboards. So the KPI stand for key performance indicators. Now we want to check, is there something we want to show? Let's say something we want people to know when they take our dashboard. What do we want them to see which makes our work unique? That's what we do with the KPIs. Before I continue with KPIs, please, does anyone have any question with the dashboard name and everything? Do you have any question with this particular sheet before I move on to the next sheet? Abbas, please, you can ask your question.
Hello, good evening, sir. I'm asking, I was left behind because of network problem in my area. So I'm asking about how do I get that color that you said, like, I have not had it well, like color.hans.com or something like that.
All right, so I'll send a link on our website into the chat right now, and thank you for letting me know. Colorhands.co. So when you go there, you see a lot of color combinations. Now for your chart, you can pick one. Then for our chart, I'm using this. It's not necessarily that I have to use all the colors, but I'm just using my combinations so that I will just ensure some uniformity. Do you understand? Later I can change everything, but I'm just using this as an example. Do you get it? Mr. Abbas, are you okay now? I've sent it to the message section now.
Yes, thank you, sir. I've already thank you so much.
Okay, so now our next sheet. Is there any other question somebody wants to ask?
Yes, sir. Sorry for the interruption. I asked a question. The question is, does Tableau allow forum for data cleaning or not?
Yes, so at the part where I uploaded the data, we have, I think we call it Tableau Query Cleaner or something. I have to confirm the name. So it can clean the data for you automatically before you even upload it. If you also want to clean it manually, you can do it yourself before you even load it here.
Okay.
All right, so next we are going to our KPIs. What did I say about KPIs? KPIs are key performance indicators. What do we want to know? What do we want to see in our data? What is our data all about, right? And that's what the key performance indicators aim to show us, aim to teach us, aim to help us see. So I want to see the age group of people who fill this form. I'll pick the age group column and send it to the columns section here. I hope we can see. Good. So that's the age group column. Now, there is nothing here because we have not fed the columns with the number of entries there. Do we get it? So let's say here, when you come to the down section, I told you the hash is the numeric data. So we have to fill the columns with the data. We get it and we place it here. I can also place it at the row side, and it's basically the same thing. Now what does this thing do? This thing shows us how many people who filled our form are between 18 to 24 years, 25 to 34 years. Everything over here, everything we are seeing here, right? Can you give me a few minutes? I think. Good. So here, when you come to that particular column, you can click on the arrow down there and you can compute different things. So I'm counting the sum, so the total number of people in that particular age group. Somebody can count, somebody can find median, average, everything. Now mind you, with that column, it's not having let me open the Excel sheet. With the age group column, it's not having numbers, real numbers, so calculating the mean will be quite difficult for them. That is why, although I filled the data, it is not really getting what it needs. So we have to fill it with data in which it can find the number of people who filled the forms. Now, how do we get that? We have to get a numeric data which contains numbers for something. I hope you are okay. We have to feed it with data which contains numbers. Now, somebody can choose to upload the measure names. Measure names are like names of the columns. Now, when a person puts measure names there, this is a general name, like a general name for all the columns. So, measure names are just that ABC, so that this is where all the columns which are categorical are. And value, you see value measures here. Value measures too tells you the columns which contain numeric data. And if it contains numeric data, how many things or how many metrics can we compute? Can we compute mean, average, and all those things for those particular columns? That's how it is. So before we even start, what do we want to find? What do we want to move to a particular place? We have chosen age group. Where do we feed our numbers to find what total number of people who are in that particular age group? Can anyone suggest a particular column which will help us with that? Yeah, I can hear you.
Is the question again?
So, see, I've uploaded the age group. Now we have to feed it with the number of individuals in the various age group, and that will mean that we have to upload a quantitative variable at the row section or the mark section. And I was asking if anyone could suggest, because I want our section to be interactive. So, what do you think we should put here? Should I put change likelihood here? And if I put change likelihood, should I count the number? Do you think when I count the number of entries in that particular column, I will get numbers to be there, to be filling that particular column? That's all I was asking. Can anyone guess?
I think you using each.
All right, great. So that was it. So age group numeric. Now, if you watch, I place it at where the rows column. The rows column. Now KPIs are cards. So Tableau thinks I want to show a chart. So it has shown me a chart. But what we want is actually a card. We want to see number of people there. So when we come to automatic at the mark side, you choose test. So test should show you the number of people in each particular column. So you see 18 where the ABC is actually supposed to be a number. But since this KPI cannot be visualized in terms of test, is if we click test, we are not seeing the number. It's supposed to give us something like a total number. We can rather use this chart for a comparison. For example, when I go back, it will send me back to the chart we have created.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, please, I'm trying to do what you are doing, but then I'm getting an error.
Please, I will pause you.
I would want to share my screen so that you can see.
All right.
Actually, if it's possible.
All right. Give me a few minutes so that I stop and I give you privileges to do that. is the code? Where is the code? Ah, okay. Back online now. Kindly give me a few minutes and let me stop sharing my screen. All right. So I'm giving you the permission to also share your screen so that I can help you with that quite briefly.
Can you see my screen?
I'm coming. Are you able to share your screen?
Yes, it says.
I'm coming. Let me give you the privilege. Yeah, I think you can do that now. Okay, I can see your screen now.
So I was trying to send the age group here. I get this error. It does not step.
All right, so I think you have to start the thing again. You see, because it's an I think it's because of your data source. You have to kindly go to the how do I even say it? Go back to the data source side, left button, down, down, where there's sheet 1, left. When this thing happens, see, because we use internet, sometimes you doing your data connections, things can happen, which will make your network lag. I think there's a problem with your data connection.
So there's an error here.
Yes, don't connect. It's the same column, so don't connect the column to itself again. So you can carry that column, you drag it back to files again. Right, click on it. Okay, I think it's gone. Then go to update now at the right button.
Okay.
Then when you are done updating, I think it should correct the dashboard for us to continue. Good. Then good. All right. Great. So you can stop sharing your screen so that I continue from there. Please, does anyone also have a challenge so that we can help the person? I can help the person before I continue. If you have any challenge, kindly let me know before I continue. All right, I think everyone is fine, so I'll continue from there. So as I was saying, with the KPIs, they are like cards. Now, when we chose that age group column, when we went to cards for the test, we were not able to see it in terms of text. But for KPIs are cards. So let's say retention rate, and we're able to see numbers. We'll transform this column, the column as the columns we're seeing in that chart, rather back to a KPI so that it is easy for us. So now I went back there and I went to show me and I chose the card option. That's the first chart there and it has given me this. Now we are not done. Okay, the KPIs are actually horizontal. So if you come to the top side here, it makes you change the arrangement. So you see it was other columns. I've made the rows. So that button is actually to swap rows and columns. Are we on the same page? Good. Now age group. We'll come in. Edit the text there. So I'll type age group. Can make it bold. I can increase the font. and center it. I can increase the font and center it. I think it has rather so format number, not in terms of this, in terms of font. Good. And my interface is worrying me, but kindly give me a few minutes. Let me work on this. Good.
Samantha.
So good. So we increase the size of the KPI so that we can. You heard I'm here. So I'm increasing the size of the KPIs so that we can see the numbers very well.
Since when I was facing a challenge, you were able to change from the bars to numbers. I didn't see that. If you could,
Yeah. So
it was all bad, but yeah.
good. So when you want to do that, still with the chart selected, you go to the show me and more. I think it's at the right. It will be at this side of your chart where you can change the chart to any available type of chart there. That's how I was able to move it forward.
Thank you.
All right. So you're on the same page now.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. So that is it. Now, can you give me a few minutes? I think this thing is all right. All right. Good. So that's it for the KPI. Now, before we continue, I want us to increase the size of the column so that it becomes a big card for us to see everything very clearly. So I'll come to demonstrate it now. All right. Okay, I'm waiting back. All right. Sorry, I was having network challenges. Good. So when I come here, when I click the particular column, it gives me the opportunity to edit. So here you can edit the name and also edit the individual label. Let's say if I want to edit the type of header, let's say I don't want to show the header, I don't want to show whether it is 18 to 24. I want to keep that particular group. If I want to divide it into more columns, if I want to choose a subgroup from it, let's say I want to expand, I can also expand. expand the other size too, because I want the whole card to fill the space. At the end, when we come and import, we would have to arrange it well under the title. That is why you have to keep the sizes wide and the names to quite very big. Mr. George, please mute your mic.
Always, please, you are muted also.
Sorry, has been, it it has been skipping me. Please don't mind me. It has been skipping me. So please, that is it. We want to create. I'll come back to this particular KPI because the particular name I want to find, I am not finding the name to edit it. But we'll come back to it so that I'll make that final changes. Now after this, after your KPIs, you ask yourself, what questions do we want to answer in the data set? What do we want to show people? The way Tableau's dashboards are designed, the minimum charts you can show are, let's say, 2, 3, 4, maximum 6, because of the space the dashboard will give you when we are coming to combine it. So you can take some few columns. You can take some key metrics you want to visualize. So like the first thing, you can take gender. Now when you take gender, let's say you want to take gender, make gender a row. When I make gender a row, I want to see the age groups. So the number of people in a particular gender. So how many people are, how old are the people? Let me see. How many people are males? How many people are females? And how many people responded prefer not to say? How many people are transgender? All these things, you can choose this graph. Now when I click on show me, you will see the different types of graph we can have. Now here is not open, it means I can't choose this, but I can choose a pie chart. This graph, you ask yourself, is it really appropriate? Will people be able to see it? You can edit and add labels for people to get the details, but will this thing be suitable? What do you think? Should we use this, or we can come for a different visualization which will show us the individuals by the colors, so the more deeper or everything? For charts like this, anyone can choose what particular type of chart they want, but the most important thing is that everything should relate and you should use an appropriate chart. When we are coming to visualize something like this, last workshop, Taiwo said that when we are coming to use a pie chart, maximum the thing should be 4 columns so that it is quite easy to read. If not, we can choose different type of charts. So here I can choose the pie chart, then I add the labels. So it shows the amounts for each particular group. When we are done with something like this, we'll edit the name of the sheet too. We can call it age, so let me say gender, it's gender rather. Gender. So that sheet is called gender. Then we create another sheet to visualize something else. Before I leave this sheet, one thing I forgot, you have to name the graphs, because when we come and import, they will have to see the name of the graphs. Right now I just named the chart. Okay, so automatically Tableau has used the name of the chart to do the name of the graphs, but you have to name individual charts so that when you are collating them at the end, it becomes simpler for everybody to see what is going on. Now we'll go to the next one. Go to the next chart. So we have one, so let's say we have 4 charts left. Yeah, you can ask a question.
It's not about the legend for the pie chart. Like, how add instead of buying it.
All right, so the Tableau gives you that opportunity to also add it. You are able to add legends like, okay, let me see what I can do it for you here. So I think I'll have to add it automatically to show you how it is done. Let me do it when I'm coming. No, not a tutor. All right. So I'll drag the gender to labels. Then I'm coming. I think. So the moment you drag the name of the column to the moment I come to the main column side, let's say I come to gender and I drag it to labels, automatically Tableau give you the option to label the chart by the name of the column. So I'm coming. I think it didn't. Good. So you can see it here. Are you okay?
Please could you go by it one more time?
So when you come to the left side, you go to your gender and you drag it to labels. When you drag it from gender to labels, you see a plus sign. So automatically that thing it is numbered by the color of the particular entry there becomes the name of that particular chart and what it represents. Do you get it? Good. Now aside that, we'll go to another chart. Now what is the next thing we want to look at? Now the main dashboard, the main data contains churn rates. So we might want to watch something about the people who leave a particular network. What plans were they using? So we might want to visualize plans. So put plan, let's say as a column. So we have prepaid, postpaid. Now for prepaid and postpaid, what do you want to compare? That's the questions you ask yourself. Do you want to compare the plans they were using to, let's say, the telcos? What network? Let's say MTN, Vodafone, Airtel, Tigo. What plans do people use, and were people using prepaid or postpaid? I think I'll use this to talk about the network and their plans. Then next we'll go to the churn rates. So for a particular network, which plan type do individuals like using a lot? That's what this KPI I would like to use. Now we would want to feed it with data so that we can see the numbers for that particular site. We want to see the numbers for that particular. Good. Now these are the available charts. So for MTN, you are seeing the individuals who, I'm coming, let me choose a different measure, should count. Good. We are seeing the number of individuals who use prepaid, postpaid. You can see from here, MTN, a lot of people are using postpaid, and they have high numbers for both prepaid and postpaid. We can see that it actually reflects our Ghanaian population here, because most people in this country use MTN and Tigo. Now, that's not the only chart you can use here. You can even show a normal card which contains the individual networks and the numbers there. This can be something simple, so the telco, everything. I also mentioned that you can swap columns. So let's say if you swap columns, you see that it is quite easy for you to choose a particular graph or a particular chart. Don't worry, that will be a very easy work for you. So you want to see the networks and their plans. So here, how many people are using Airtel, Tigo? We can rename the columns so that it will reflect everything. For now, I'm doing it quite quick, but when I come to do everything into the dashboard, we'll be able to edit the columns and make everything simpler. So I have named the telco by number. So that sheet contains the number of people who use a particular network. Or let me use an appropriate name. Telcom by number SA and plan, so that we know what we are comparing here. Now that's it for this one. We'll come again and add another worksheet. Now we have done 2 now. We can add, let's say, another 2. What else do we want to visualize? Maybe we want to consider what are the employment status of the people who fill this form. How many of them are workers? How many of them are not workers? And those who are working, are some of them full-time, part-time? Everything here becomes very simple. We can consider this in terms of numbers and also in terms of other different metrics. Let's say we want to compare the employment status by churn. So those who are working and those who are not working. How many people are likely to leave a network? Is it because they are employed, so they have money to always do subscriptions and they are staying in a particular network? Or those who are not employed and, let's say, students, we think a particular network is affordable, so that's the particular option we have, and so that's what lots of people are using. So I filled the columns, the rows. Now we need to give it number. We need to give it the numbers of people who are in that particular range. I'll count the number of people who filled the form for the different age groups. I don't want to show age group, so I'll count the number of, so let's say I want to count unique number of individuals. So count individuals who are in this particular range. So for each particular graph, it will show you those who said yes, those who said no, students, and other different people. So those who are unemployed, so let's say here, unemployed students. I think the measure didn't help, because that would have calculated only the good. So this one gives an accurate visualization. So here we can see that the blue stands for what we were comparing, churn rate. So those who are blue, they are the ones who chose no. Those who are the orange color, they are the ones who chose red. Now are the ones who chose yes. Now we can see that those who are self-employed, those who have their more money, most of them are more likely to leave any network at any time, and that's what this graph aims to show us. When we are done, we name the sheet again. So this thing, what did we check? We checked churn by employment. So those who are following, you can go ahead and create another chart comparing anything. When you are done, you can share your screen if you want us to see. Then we go on. So this one is the opportunity to compare any particular things you want to compare, anything you want to see trends for before we continue. In that same time, those who have questions can kindly start asking your questions so that I'll be getting them answered. Let's say there's something you didn't understand, there's something you want to know, you can ask all your questions. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, I am doing well. Is this Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic, you can ask your question.
Does it usually happen that if, let's say, there's an internet issue and your file doesn't load again, you can't continue your work?
You can continue, but you have to go to the data source and reload it again, like upload it. It's like, let me go back. You see, I've gone back to data source. Let's say your internet is not stable. Still the data will be here, but you have to go to update now. It will come at the bottom here. In case you have not, see here I've loaded it, but it will come update now, and you update and you can still continue with what you're doing. This is a web version, that is why. But in our subsequent workshops, when I do a video on how to get a desktop one, that one doesn't need internet, and that one will make our work easier. Because many people have not downloaded the student package, that's why I was saying we should use Tableau Public. Yes. All right. I hope somebody has compared something else. If not, you can also mention something you want us to compare. Anyone can suggest. Anyone can unmute and suggest anything you want us to compare. Most of the times for data questions or being an analyst, the companies or the individuals mostly have questions they want you to answer. But aside that, this one is just something we are just doing, trying to explore the data and find things. But most of the times, the graphs are supposed to answer certain key questions by stakeholders, and so you'll be more directed in the work you are doing. But aside that, something like this, we are just exploring the data, and we are just going to draw a simple dashboard when we are done. All right. So let's say we want to check monthly charges. So how much or what are the possible amounts people are paying? So this is the column 20 to 50 CDs, 100 to 100 to 200 CDs. What do we want to compare it with? Do we want to see how many male and female, which people spend amount of money a lot on credit with a particular network? Or let's say we want to compare something else. It can be duration. How long do people keep at a particular company? Is it associated to how much they are paying? Right? And I'll use this chart to do it. Now you realize that I've been counting the number of age groups. So that particular function counts the number of people who failed, let's say this a particular age group. So in my data set, we have over 1,000 columns, over 1,000 entries. I think our data set contains almost 2,000 and is it 2,000? It's 1,900 and something. So it counts the number of people who filled that particular column. So after we have gotten those column and rows, we'll have to feed it with the number of people. So if I come here, I want to see the number of people. Here it is summing the numbers. That's not what we want. We want to count the number of people. When I click on the arrow, I click on the measure, and I rather count the number of people there. This gives me like a comparative analysis. So you see that, okay, those who keep long in in a particular network, a particular provider, those who stay, let's say, more than 3 to 4 years, how much data do they buy? You can see that their monthly charges are high. You can see maybe these are the wealthy people in society. They spend a lot and they like a particular network, so they are always with it. You can also look at those who spend less than 6 months. You see that most of them were paying between 100 and 200 Ghana cedis a month, and maybe that contributed. And you might want to check, does that mean that making your the telcos, does it mean that they making their packages affordable? Does it mean that people will always stay and people will not leave? You can compare, because you see that here the numbers are actually reducing, and so it can help those companies make informed decisions about everything they are coming to do. Do you get it? You can change the particular plot. I think I'm using too much of this. I can change the particular plot I am using. I can go for a normal, like the normal table I did at the beginning, to just show people the numbers, and it's absolutely fine. You can choose not to even include this in your dashboard, because in Tableau Public, when you show the dashboard, you can choose to let people see the individual charts you also did, right? So that work becomes easier. So we'll name this sheet, let's say, number of years by monthly charges, right? And so are they staying long when the cost of the network is less every month? You can do all these things. Now add the last one. I think time is hitting, so I'll add the last chart. Let's say we want to compare, why do people leave a particular network? So we'll load it here. Why do people leave a particular network? And we can even check with the telco column. We want to check telco company. So we want to compare why grow MTN. I'm uploading the good. So it counts the number of people there. And you're able to see that, okay, so more people MTN, Glow, but let's say I don't want this particular chart. Can I swap the columns? Good. So something like this. You see MTN, a lot of people left MTN because their coverage wasn't the best. Let's say, for example, they are always saying everywhere you go. But when it comes to coverage, a lot of people left MTN because of coverage, customer service. A lot of people might have left MTN because of customer service, or high numbers were there for customer service. Also, those who didn't say anything, so those people are not really our focus. But come and check also for, I'm coming, pricing. A lot of people might have left MTN because of pricing. Now, mind you, we can't always make judgment based on this, because sometimes, because in our data, a lot of people chose MTN. So maybe high numbers will be there for the individual one. But comparatively, since in some of the columns the gaps are too big, you can judge that plenty people are leaving MTN, and these are the reasons why they are leaving. And you can use this to advise, let's say, the stakeholders. So MTN, I think you should make a package for people so that they can be able to use this or this or this. Or MTN, do this and this, and you'll be able to help them make better informed decisions as a telco company. So in this sheet, I'll rename it by, let's say, telco by reasons for living. Reasons for choosing. Oh, thank you for alerting me. Okay, that means what I was saying was the other way rather. So people were choosing so people were choosing MTN because they had better coverage, their customer service was okay, and their pricing was okay for some of them. I mean, and that's what they meant. Now we are almost heading to the last part. In fact, this is the last part where we do our dashboard. Now, if you'd realize, this last button here contains data source. We have created a dashboard name, KPIs, gender, every here. That last button here helps us add a chart. But you see there's a bigger box. This is what makes us create a dashboard. Good. Now, this is the interface for a dashboard. You can choose setups. You see, we build dashboards for different devices. You can choose phone, you can choose default, let's say default setup. Now, you can choose the size of it too. You can resize it. Let's say I want it to be very big. Then, now the individual sheets come at the left side. So if you check the dashboard name we created here, all are here. Are we on the same page? All right. So I got the notice. In case the meeting stops, we can rejoin the meeting with the same link again. I think Google Meet has a limit for us. So now the sheet names are here. So if I click on dashboard name, you just have to drag it. When you drag it, it comes here. Have you seen it? Let me zoom it so that you can see. So I think it's too small. Let me zoom in to something like this. So now our KPIs, or let's take one of the charts. So when you drag it here, it comes. Now the Tableau gives you the opportunity to change a lot of things. So I can make it floating. Floating means that I can make it move where I want it to move. Right? So let's say I want to bring this thing here. You can also increase the size. So I might want to increase the size. Good. Then I can choose another. So the moment you drag it, it comes here. So I make it floating so that they can see. I can move it and people can see what I'm showing very well. Now, your graph does not necessarily have to be in a particular order. You see where I've placed mine. You can choose to even make this thing. Why I made this thing, you can choose to make it at your last particular chart or everything. The most important thing is that the presentation has to be okay. You can't come and talk about, let's say, the total number of people who fill the form and make it a KPI and put it at the last side. No, you have to make sure that everything you are doing is in a nice particular order, so that if somebody takes your dashboard and they look at your dashboard, they're able to see the insights clearly and easily. Now, if you'd realize, Tableau also gives you the opportunity to see your let me say, how do I call them, legends. So the legend we have used for the churn by employment is actually here, the left side here. And any graph to be added will be able to see we'll be able to see there's a different color combination or anything. We'll be able to see all of them in one place. So let's say this time I want to take my KPIs. Good. I would, let's say I want to fit entire view. Good. Then I would make it floating so that I can see the good. Okay. Position yourself. Please, those who are following me too, I hope you are doing the same thing. You can choose anywhere to put it. Tableau can let you can even change the name of the columns. You can choose where you want to position it. So let's say after I've come here, I've seen that I don't really like where this thing is. I can come in, take this one, place it here, take this, and even enlarge the size of this one. So I want this one to be in the same line with this, with the change by employment column. So I'll raise it higher. I can fit to screen, so that everything will be in. Good. When you right click or you come to the down arrow here, there's a fit option. The entire view means that the thing will be able to show everything I want to show here. It will fit the particular box or container I've given it. So I want to create some space more so that it doesn't become so clustered. Good. Now the KPIs here are very big, and I think it is reducing the space for other graphs. I can come and reduce the size again. And that's one thing about Tableau. It makes it, when you're coming to make your dashboard, it makes it already interactive, so you can start making changes to it before you even show your final product. My points are coming. Let me do it again. Let me carry this here. Oops. I right click, I click here, more options, I click on floating. Good. Let's see, I place it here. All the age groups are not showing. I want all of them to show. I'll right click, fit, and I'll fit it to the entire view. Good. Now I can come and carry another thing. Let's say telecom by number. Is this, let's say, a chart I want to show? So I click here, I click floating. When you click on floating, it gives you the chance to make the chart um, movable. You can move it to any point in the dashboard. So I'll add it here. I can push it a bit here so that at least the names can show. Now you see, as I'm adding the new charts, it's also automatically adding the column for me. Please, I hope you are following. If you are following, kindly send some reactions to let me know whether you are here. All right, thank you very much. So I want to expand this very well so that it would fill the whole space. The points are coming. Good. All right. Nice one. Nice one. Nice one. I check the alignment. I want the alignment to be the same. So alright. So now we have uploaded 4. We have a few space here to add. I want to change this alignment so it follows with the rest. Yes. The last one. Fit to screen. Entire view. Gosh, not here. Fit to entire view so that we can see everything very well. Good. So I want to position this here. I want to extend or I want to close it here. So I'm closing it here. Then I want to pick a last one. If this chart is not really visible and the space is small, so let's say something like this, I don't want to show it, I can choose to clear it from there. Do I have something maybe I want to show again? I think I've selected all. Let me rather change the arrangement so that I can find more space for, if I'm able to bring this down here, reduce the size a bit. I think with this I'll make space for the one coming and I'll be able to extend it. Then I extend it to, so then this is it. This panel is too much. Alright, it's all in place. So at the end, this is like a sample dashboard we can have. Now with Tableau Public, let's say I'm done with a dashboard like this. You can still go back to the individual charts and make changes, like the individual sheets, and make changes. The moment you make a change, it will still reflect in the chart, so you have no worry. Let's say if I come here and I want to change the name of the column, or I want to make the column bold, it still won't affect anything. I can still make the change. The moment you go back, it will reflect entirely. When you are done with your work, and let's say you want to show it to the world, you want to add it to your online portfolio for people to see, you just go to publish. Now when you go to publish as, you name the workbook, let's say 2023 Ghana Telecom Dashboard. You can choose whether you show the tabs or not, but that is the optional. The moment you publish, it goes to your ask your Tableau the bits you have done, and then you are almost gone with that. Please, do you have any questions? So that is it. They want me to preview my work first. So I preview my work, then good. So they've told me it has been published. So the moment somebody goes to my Tableau public profile, they should be able to see this dashboard, and they can follow to the very end how I got my data and everything. Please, do you have any questions? We are almost, in fact, we are at the end of our workshop. But I want to ask if anyone has any questions, any concerns, please feel free to ask. I'll send a Google form into our WhatsApp community so that you can fill the attendance sheet later today in the evening. Those who haven't filled the attendance sheet, or those who are not part of the WhatsApp community, I'll send the community link to everyone in the chat box today. Then we can all follow from there. Aside that, this meeting is being recorded. I'll end the meeting very soon. I'll upload it to my YouTube channel and share the link for those who couldn't join so that they are able to join. Please, does anyone have any questions? Any questions, any concerns? Please feel free to ask.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. I want to know more about the KPI. I don't really understand the importance of the KPI in the chat.
All right. So the idea behind KPIs is that the full meaning is key performance metrics or indicators. So in this chart, what I did was not really the best thing to do for KPIs. So for KPIs, let's say the data gave me number of churn rates. Let's say if I could calculate the churn rates, I could put, let's say, 26.5%. I can put 80% of those who filled my form were male, female. Like the KPIs are key numbers or percentages which give you a brief description of what the data is about. Do you get it? So I was saying, so I'm saying that it's similar to those who do like your normal academic research. You see, before you start your work, you have to do descriptive statistics, find the mean, mode, median, everything, and that's what KPI is. Similarly, it's like it gives you an overview of the data in terms of some key things. Let's say percentage of men, percentage of women, churn rates, most popular reason why they did this, like those key things. You highlight them before going in depth to some questions you want to answer. Are you okay? All right. So please, I've sent the link to our WhatsApp community. You can join, and then I'll share the I'll share the slides there, and I'll also share any updates in terms of any workshop and everything we'll be doing. We'll share it. We are looking forward to having a competition maybe in December where we'll let people design dashboards. And if your dashboard is able to win, I'll get some more ambassadors for other institutions. If your dashboard is able to win, then we can follow up from there. You get prizes. It's like a normal competition. So let me just wrap up. I'm Elvis. I'm the Tableau Academic Ambassador in Ghana. So far, I'm the only person so far. Tableau has different types of ambassadors. We have social ambassadors, different type. Mine is just to create awareness about Tableau in the universities and academic institutions. Today's workshop was a brief intro of what a dashboard is, how they do data visualization in Tableau, and a brief introduction of how the Tableau Public platform was designed to help students make their data analysis simple. Aside that, if you want the website to get your Tableau student license for free, this is the site. You can reach out to me if you're having any issues. And always, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any concerns, and I'll be ready to assist you with everything. Thank you all so much for your patience and for staying. I know today's workshop hasn't been easy because there has been a lot of glitches, but I'm promising you that next time it's going to be better. Thank you all very much. In absence of any questions, have a great evening. All right, I'm sharing it again. The community link is here. All right, so you can join the community link and everything will be there. So I'm ending the workshop now. If anyone has any questions, please.
Yes, please. I have a question.
All right, Kingsley.
Yes, so I want to know about the data.
Cargo. I got the data from Cargo. I also send a link into the page.
Onto the WhatsApp platform.
Yes, yes, yes. Previously, those who filled the form, the Google form, I sent them the link yesterday to download the download the data set. But if you don't have, don't worry. I'll send all today.
Okay.
All right.
My question on that was that is it all data sets that we can get from there, or is only this data set because it was purpose for the training?
Okay, so I wanted the data which we can all relate to because like most of us are Ghanaians and all these things. But Cargo is like an online open source platform where you can get a lot of data sets, machine learning projects people have done, everything is there. So it's like all in one data platform. But please, you can get data sets from other sites too. But you know there are some data regulations. Not every data that you can do analysis on. Some people are there when they upload their data sets, they tell you that there are some rules and all those things. So please, and when you're importing data or taking data from somewhere, kindly be careful. Aside that, Cargo is your easy to go place. I'll send a link to you to the WhatsApp community to get everything when it regards to data set. Is that fine?
Okay, thank you. Yes, please.
All
Thank you so
right.
much.
All right. Please, any other questions? All right. So those who want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn or via email, and or even the WhatsApp community. I'll be ready to give you feedback. Thank you all very much, and have a great evening. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Lord Jesus.